What are you doing? You already got this. Oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And much love, blessings, gratitude, peace, bliss. Gerald hopped up in here. Look at that. Much love to you. Much love to you. I see Carly. I see David. Oh snap. Shout out to Cam, the Subflow Stone. Shout out, shout out. Today has been day 5 of Le Pranic Retreat here in Sedona, Arizona. Whoa, don't you wanna? And as you can tell, it's been buzzing. It's been buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. We bid our farewells to some people, but I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of them tonight for the Lunar Eclipse. And what is this event, this Lunar Eclipse, significant for? What's going on with that? You know a lot about it?
I haven't read a lot about this one. I've been so involved with everything we're doing. I haven't been reading lately on my phone, or I've been on my phone. But,
Is there something about it's in Scorpio or something like that?
I haven't even been reading.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see.
It's a full moon.
Yeah, and we've been feeling the
solar
energy.
eclipse.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've been feeling the energy too. You know, like we've been feeling out here. It's been vibrant. It's been vibrant. Today we met Jesus.
Yeah?
We met Jesus at the Natural Grocery. He said, "Hey, what's up?" We was in line and getting, some juice, some kombucha, and Jesus looked at us, and he had a name tag, trying to throw people off. It said Joseph, but you weren't fooled.
He had Jesus energy all over him.
He had the beard.
And then I looked down and his name tag was Joseph.
Yeah.
And he's wearing a cross, and I'm like...
Yeah, he had the beard, he had the smile on his face. He was like, yo, if you can't have fun in Sedona, then I don't know what to tell you. You must got something on you. Then he came to the car, he said, hey, dap me up.
Yeah, he recognized our energy. He saw us at the Whole Foods. He saw us at the other store, and he recognized us, that like energy. Yeah, so...
And you knew it was that Christ consciousness.
I knew his energy embodied, that Christ energy embodied. And then we seen him going to his truck, and he had a cross.
With the words.
A wooden cross stuck in the back of his truck with Jesus written on it. Energy speaks for itself. Energy does not lie.
So many things, so many synchronicities today. So many, things that you can't even plan for. Like how we hit the energy at the screen. We did this thing where we beamed. We did an ultralight beam of energy that we cultivated from doing all the meditations that we did, the Merkava once again, the Qigong once again, the microcosmic and all of that. And we just combined all that energy and sent it into the phone, into the device. And the phone blew over. There was no wind. No wind outside, 0 wind. And the phone tipped over from all the energy that was beamed at it. So, man, oh man. So where do we start? Well, we've seen something. Should we start there or should we start there? All right. So we seen something last night. It was something very interesting. I don't know if y'all have ever seen this movie. It's on Netflix now. And it's a international film. It was in Espanol, and we watched it with the English subtitles. The movie is called The Platform. Don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called The Platform, and had a very interesting message. What did you think about that movie?
It was eye-opening.
Yeah.
Very eye-opening.
To say the least.
Yes.
Yeah.
The way I feel like it related to us in the now moment is that we're on this pranic journey, on this journey of food freedom. And here they are in this movie, turning to the most craziest things because they think they need the food.
Yeah. So the premise of the film is basically, imagine you're a prisoner in a small cell, and it's only you and another cellmate. And there's a big old hole in the middle of your cell. You have one little bed on your side, they have a bed on their side, and it's divided by a little sink and a little bathroom on the side of the cell. And you look down the hole, you see other cells just like it, and you look up the hole and you see other cells just like it. And it's pretty much a ginormous vertical self-containment chamber with hundreds of inmates inside and hundreds of levels. And there's an administration that cooks and makes gourmet meals for all the inmates, and they just drop this little platform that goes to each cell, from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's timed, and it goes all the way down to the hundreds. But by the time it gets to the bottom, there's no food left.
Or even halfway, even before halfway there, it's already licked clean. So the lower, even halfway, they don't have anything.
So it challenges you to think about, well, what are our conceptions or our notions of what we believe is human nature, what we've been taught.
That we would die without eating for how long, they say?
5 days.
5 days.
Some people think that you'll die after a certain time without drinking or without eating. And that was the belief of all the inmates. And many of them turned to violence. Many of them turned to cannibalism, eating each other. It was a lot of, it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. So, but it had a lot of themes in it.
A lot of themes.
A lot of hidden messages. Yeah.
His cellmate, he wasn't gonna eat him until the other man had fasted for 7 days. He said, because now you're cleansed and clean now.
Yeah. So even that was like a hidden theme within it when he said, like, you're cleansed now or you're clean now. I can eat you now. So anyways, check it out. The platform is definitely, it's something to think about. It gives you things to ponder, and it makes you wonder, where would we be if we had not that scarcity mentality or that lack of thinking that we need this to survive? What would we do? How would we respond?
Or could we come together like they tried and maybe try to ration the food so everybody survives? Or are we going to be selfish and not think about the other person and only fend for ourselves? So it was a message also about unity and how that can help us all survive when we come into unity.
It was also interesting that depending on what level you were, because they switched them every month to random levels of the cells, if you were in the middle, then you got, some scraps of the leftovers from the food from the top. But if you were at the very bottom, you were left with nothing. So they either starved or they ate each other to survive. But if you were on the very top, you got everything. You had overabundance. So there were people that were on the top that had more than they needed, and they ended up committing suicide just because, what? They had so much.
They had so much.
It was like indigestion, boredom.
We said earlier that the lower level was trying to survive. That was their mindset. I need to survive. But if you're at the top, you have abundance. Your mind is thinking of other things. So it led them to that. Yeah.
David says there are 3 types of people: the ones above, the ones below, and the ones who fall.
That's what they said in the movie.
Wow.
That's what they said. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he must have checked it out while we were just yeah. Check it out. You only need to see it one time. You don't need to see it again. Yeah, you probably might.
If you can get over the bit of cannibalism is the only thing, just don't look. But the rest of the movie has very eye-opening and a lot of actually positive messages to it.
Yeah, if you can see between the lines.
Yes.
If you can see past the images and stuff. Yeah, you got to keep an open mind though. It definitely challenges you to keep an open mind. He's watching it now. He's like, I'm watching it right now. He don't waste time. David don't waste time. So what was the message we had today that really stuck out to you? Because you took, I think, the most notes that you ever took. Yeah.
So today, I took a lot of notes because it's a lot of things that I have found on my journey and that I am practicing now. And so many people ask me, how do I do this? And I didn't always have like the best explanation or the best solid information to really back it up. I had a little bit, but this is like so much more. So where do I start? I took like a few pages.
And we don't have to do the whole thing. Just go with with what you feel. Yeah, the things that you particularly enjoyed.
I can't leave anything out. I mean, let's just run through it.
All right, let's do it. Let's blast off.
Meditation equals cosmic initiation. So if you're looking to connect anything cosmically, meditate. Meditate, meditate, meditate.
So it talks about gathering cosmic energy. Yeah.
Why? Because cosmic and solar energy. That's how we're getting our nourishment. It's not just by the solar energy, but also by the cosmic energy. So if you're only working with the sun, you're only getting a certain amount. You could be getting from other sources too. So to be even more nourished as well.
So you don't have to limit yourself just to one source. You know, you can think of meditation as the foundation, but also meditation as medication, you know. So yeah. So
from that you get prana, mana, which is, like Eli Tom said, food of the angels.
Yeah, like food from heaven. Yeah.
Why? Because embodying your light body, we are becoming angelic beings, angelic humanoid beings. Yeah. Let's see. The sun is actually a transmitter of the cosmic energies.
And we're like transceivers, so we transmit and receive energy. Yeah.
The body is nourished by air. Everything else is put out of the body as waste.
And there's so much more in the air than we even realize. You know, like people think of just, well, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say the air is not just air.
Right. Yeah. There's more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is within the air?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything is energy. Everything is molecules. It's the light held within the molecules. The light, prana, mana, chi, biophotons, like we're saying, whatever you want to call it, straight electricity. That's what's held in the molecules in the air. So.
And I even remember when they was talking about prana, there was a chapter I read by Hilton Hotima in his book Man's Higher Consciousness that said, it may be affirmed that an aerial something enters the blood from the air. You know, whatever it may be affirmed that an aerial something, whatever that may be, enters the bloodstream from the air.
It's like I learned this before our retreat. I learned, because I'm so into healing and helping humanity, and the biggest killer on this planet is cardiovascular disease. So something to do with that, we've been told that it's our heart that pumps the blood. But that's not the case.
What's the case?
What gets the blood flowing and moving is the electricity, the light found within the blood. That's what it is. So the heart is just kind of like a filter, I think, for the blood, but it doesn't actually pump the blood and move it. So when your heart fails, and that's why you think you have a lack of circulation, no. It's the opposite way around. It's the lack of circulation in the body that causes the heart to fail.
So electricity. So
the way we're treating cardiovascular disease in some ways might be a little backwards when you look at it that way. Treating the heart instead of treating the energy within our veins. Treat the energy flow within your veins, you get circulation, you got that electricity flowing, keeping it flowing. Your heart's not going to give out.
Is that kind of why they use like the defibrillator when they want to get people going? And they shock.
Shock you with electricity to get it flowing again. Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So our only job really is to just keep things flowing. You know, you keep it flowing, it's going to keep going.
Let's see. He who eats less lives longer. Eli Tom's like big message, he doesn't like talking about food because that just like he says it's like you're just picking this food to get away from this food, and you're picking this food to get away from that food, and that's his theory behind that. So
and it kind of creates further division, because,
judgment, a lot of judgment.
You're thinking like that person is above that person,
which
or
causes
this person
separation,
is inferior to that person, and this and that. And so it's not about judging other people for what they do or don't do, but coming more into that unity consciousness and just simplifying things.
Non-judgmental mind.
Yeah.
So he who eats less lives longer.
Yeah.
Doesn't It does matter what you eat because everything is vibration and frequency. But as long as you're eating less, you will live longer, no matter what that is.
So that's why even in the medical field, they're talking about things like intermittent fasting. We hear a lot about these things today. And I mean, it's popular, to intermittent fast, or even the OMAD technique. OMAD stands for 1 meal a day, which can have powerful effects. I know people who eat 1 meal a day and they eat things that, other people might not eat, but they only eat one time. Even Wim Hof, I remember somebody who was hanging out with him, and Wim Hof told the guy, he told him, eat whatever you want, but just eat one time.
Yeah.
Only once per day.
That was a big message, like the timing when you eat.
The window of consumption.
So if you eat during your active time of the day, you're going to have that time to burn it off. As opposed to if you eat at late at night or when you're not active, it just sits in the body. And that's when it causes more blockages and more trouble for the body because you're not actively burning it off.
Right. So being active definitely has an effect.
So Shayna said if you're going to fast or avoid 1 meal a day, dinner is the one to maybe not have because it's later in the day and you're less active. Right.
And we're diurnal beings. Diurnal is the opposite of nocturnal. Rats are like nocturnal. So they did studies on rats where they would give the rats the meals during their nighttime. And it was like 35% something.
Yes, I wrote it down. So restricting calories equals a longer, healthier life. Eating less. Eating different times a day. The life of many animals. Let's see. Reducing calories. What was this? Howard Hughes Medical Institute. Howard Hughes Medical Institute posted on May 5th of just this year. That, let's see, 4 years? They did a 4-year study of 100 mice. And, let's see, extended 10%. And so 4-year study of 100 mice, and they fed them a lower caloric, lower calorie diet or intake, and they extended their life by 10%. Now, whenever they, like you said, rats are nocturnal, right? So they fed them at night when they were most active, and they extended their lifespan by 35%.
Imagine.
By feeding them when they were active, as opposed to feeding them when they were not active, only 10%.
Yeah.
And both of those are extending their lifetime by lowering the calories, lowering the intake of consumption.
Yeah. So working with the rate of activity. And that was a big question. Would you not like to extend your lifespan by 35%?
Or more.
Or more.
That was the mice.
Yeah,
That's
that was only
us.
mice.
That's not us.
We're not even talking about us.
Yeah.
Haruka asked a question earlier about urine therapy. She asked about UT. That's a whole nother bag.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. I don't know if we want to get into that now? Well, ask something. What did you want to know specifically? Yeah. And then she also said yes. Haruka said yes. I do 1.5 meals a day, sometimes once a day. So that's awesome.
Awesome.
Haruka. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll talk about urine therapy any day. So, what would you like to know?
Yeah. Let's see.
Also, so it was the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, also Texas Southwestern, also the New England University, all confirms that eating less in our active hours, we will have a longer life. And probably more. That's just the few that Ellie Tom had mentioned.
Yeah.
So this is not something that is like new or like woo-woo spiritual. This is very proven by our science, by our medical institutions. They're not even hiding it. They're sharing this information with us. It's just a matter of, are you reading that information? Are you getting that information? So we're just here to share that with you guys.
Yeah. He said, share the blessing. Share the blessing, he said. Yes. Shout out to Alex. Thank you, brother. Go ahead.
Let's see. Shayna would say, how little can you eat and feel great? So if you're eating less and you don't feel good or you have lower energy, do what works for you and what makes you feel good and what makes you have a good energy level. So you might not be ready to have it reduced that much yet. You know, so always honor your body, honor how you feel. Don't push it. We're not trying to hurt ourselves or make ourselves feel sick or anything like that. This is all a health message. It's supposed to be positive. It's supposed to make you feel better and thrive. And so
Yeah, you know, do what you can with what you have right where you are. You know, come as you are.
And know that you will fulfill everything you came here to do. Just don't rush it. You have all the time. Honor yourself. Definitely honor yourself. So Haruka did say something specific about UT. She said, do you feel Orin is more beneficial than juices? I feel like they do different things. They're different substances.
They're very different.
Very different.
So the way that I see Orin or urine, UTs, it's ultra filtered blood plasma. So that would be the medical term for the plasma ultrafiltrate.
Or Shivambu is the ancient term.
So when you're consuming your own waters, the way that I see it is, it doesn't really give me anything, but it removes everything that's not me. It takes everything that's not me and it strips it away. So the first time that I did it, after coming off of, you know, animal products, animal flesh, all sorts of different things that were in my system, when I started, you know, consuming my waters, I was detoxing at a rapid rate. I mean, it was alarming. I was going to the restroom, coming out the restroom, going right back in the restroom, like closing the door. I was locked in and I was purging. My body was purging. Now, that doesn't happen on juice. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen on juice like that. So juice, when I look at juice, I look at things that don't interrupt as much the body's functions that it already can do on its own. You know, with dry fasting, it can do so many wonderful and amazing things without our help. We don't even actually need to assist the body. It knows how to do everything on its own. It's its constitution to be healthy. You know, health isn't automatic. The body knows what to do if we get out of its way. So juice kind of doesn't get in the way of a natural process. That's the way I see juicing.
Working with the energy of our body and our light body, our energetic body, and the energy within us, it activates the body's innate ability to heal itself. So you can't just be sitting on the couch. You got to be working with the energy also to allow the body to heal itself.
All right. Awesome.
Let's see. Where we at? Gene Meyer Human Research. Also, the Gene Meyer Human Research Center also very promisingly says that this study is very promising. And they did studies on worms, flies, rats, and primates.
Oh my goodness.
And all concluded the same thing, that a lower caloric intake extends the lifetime.
So basically, the one who eats less lives longer.
Yes.
Yeah. And you can see it in nature.
They made that funny joke about the fat worm.
They put it on the hook, right?
He said, if you're the fattest worm, you're going to be the one chosen to be on the hook.
They're going to put you on the hook, you know what I'm saying?
Or if you're in nature, you know, I'm sure these animals are going to choose the juiciest looking thing to eat.
Yeah.
They're not going to choose a scrawny, bony looking thing to eat.
Oh man. And you know, it's interesting because with fasting, and that's another thing that we talked about too, because it's not to say that you're gonna be scrawny and skinny on this lifestyle. It's not to say that at all.
I'm talking about nature and animals.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the consciousness level that we have to understand that we don't need that.
Right.
They still believe they need these things to survive, so then if they don't have it, their body will get a lot smaller.
So today there was a talk, it was a little side note, where there's a difference between fasting and pranic living. So fasting is in one category, and you can look at pranic living in another category. Yeah. So go ahead.
They said fasting is temporary.
Yeah.
Pranic living is long term.
So, all right.
What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna echo that. You know, fasting is something good for a certain amount of time, and it's tremendous effects for the body that are, benefits for the body to detox, to get to a level. But there's an assumption after fasting that you're just going to go back to food. Whereas chronic living is more of a lifestyle. It's something that you're doing ongoing. It's not something that you say, okay, I'm just going to do this for a time and go back. It's more of another way to live life,
I think too, sometimes if we're fasting, we don't incorporate pranic nourishment. So if you're just fasting and you're not getting that pranic nourishment, that energy cultivation,
right,
that's why it's only temporary.
Cultivation. So it goes back to meditation.
Yeah. Meditation.
Yeah.
Shana said you can't get to breatharianism or food freedom with fasting. You get there through meditation.
Yeah. All right.
I got lost. Ellie Tom says the sun is a ball of food.
A ball of food. He put that meme up today. Yeah. He put that meme up there. A ball of food. The sun. Yeah. Ball of energy.
And then I forget his name, but he said, put a little air in your sun O's.
Sun O's? Oh, that was Mosai.
Yeah. Mosai, yeah.
Yeah, because we were talking about like a sunset supper, energy edibles, air appetizers. And he said, put a little air in your sun O's.
Put a little air in your sun O's. Like a little milk in your cereal.
Yeah. I got you.
Energy healing is a holistic practice. Helps activating the body's subtle energy systems. I wrote so fast, guys.
Yeah, we talked about Reiki too.
To remove blockages.
Yeah, so energy healing.
Energy healing is a holistic practice, helps activating the body's subtle energy systems to remove blockages. Any obstruction of the mind and body creates imbalance in the energy. So not just an obstruction in the body, but also an obstruction in the mind can create an imbalance in our energy, which are all connected.
Yeah. So think about a thought that could block energy, or even a belief that could block energy. Yeah. This is key.
That's why if you haven't done the mental programming, this lifestyle might not work.
It usually doesn't.
It usually does. I don't want to say it for sure it doesn't.
Yeah,
but that's
nothing's impossible. But
yeah.
if you haven't reprogrammed your mind beyond the beliefs of what you think that you need to survive, beyond the minerals, beyond the vitamins, beyond the nutrients, beyond anything that you think is keeping you alive in this existence, in this realm, then it's really, you're only going to go to a certain point. And usually a person, I can speak for myself, when I wasn't programmed to the point that I fully understood this, I would backfire and I would always go back to eating. I would always have these cravings. I would always, go into like binging and these cycles of guilt and shame and vomiting and binging and stuff because I felt like I was missing something. I felt like I lacked something, and I didn't fully allow that idea to germinate in my mind, to be impregnated and to really develop into more than a belief, but an inner knowing, to understand on a total level that what's sustaining me is the energy, that I am, not just this body, but a spirit inhabiting this vessel. Yeah. Light body, there you go. Yeah.
As well as the vessel.
Right,
so there's a lot of programming out there about consumption. And that creates the idea of lack, that we're lacking something. So reprogramming the mind, the body follows the mind. So knowing in the mind that knowing, not just hearing it, but knowing that you don't need anything outside of yourself will help the body. The body will follow that. So it won't feel like it's lacking anything because it has everything it needs within it. Or also it knows the prana is all around you and it can get what it needs from there.
And that knowing can also come through repetition, over and over and over, saturating yourself with new ideas, submerging yourself in a different environment. Being in nature helps, is very nourishing. Being around company, like-minded company. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, being in nature makes this lifestyle a whole lot easier.
A whole lot.
I know, it's been a couple years for me, and I decided last year to move to my van simply because I didn't want to be inside anymore. There was a lot of reasons to that, but I didn't want to be inside. I was crying. I didn't want to go from the spa to my apartment, air condition to air condition, which is conditioning you. And so it's all programming. You know, even the air is conditioned. Like, you need to get your negative ions and these things from nature. So living this lifestyle will, like, automatically your body will crave to be outside and to get the nutrients and the nourishment that it knows. Yeah.
Right on.
Got that. Oh, let's see here.
Frugivore says it's where you're putting the energy. Whenever you put the energy, the muscle grow. The meditation is the foundation.
The mind directs the energy.
Shout out to G. Hey, much love, brother.
And our breath, actually, during the Merkava meditation, I didn't share this earlier.
What happened?
But I feel like we did this Merkava meditation. I won't go into full details. It's a little long, but you envision this tube coming from your crown chakra and pulling the light from higher dimensions into the body and then down into the abdomen and storing it. And then you burst it into your Merkava for healing. So whenever I was breathing, you take an inhale and an exhale, like, and as I'm inhaling, you see that's like a pull, like pulling. So I was envisioning pulling the light from higher dimension, pulling it down, and then as I exhale, store it to the abdomen. The breath directs the light. So it was really, really cool to experience. Like, just by the breath, I can pull this energy into the body and down and store it. Just by an inhale and exhale.
It's like a battery pack. You know? Creating a new pranic engine, you know, running on some new fuel, running on a new form of energy, a new source.
So anything that creates imbalance in our energy is going to manifest as an illness. Let's see, energy sustains the body, energy is our lifeline, heavier things in the system. Heavier things in the system tend to block things more. Yeah, heavier things. So the more dense it is, the more it's going to make a block. That's why consuming a lighter density will not be as blocking.
And I remember
the
once,
energy channels.
And just going off of that, I remember once again, you know, I won't go fully into it, but just recalling when I was eating, just consuming crazy rates, you know, of different densities, you know, like rotisserie chickens, hot wings, and whole plates fulls, like things that should feed a family. I was eating like this. And my senses were so dulled. My senses were so numbed. My dreams were non-existent. I would go to sleep and not remember things. And, you know, I would wake up in the morning feeling tired still, like I hadn't even gone to sleep. And my body was always in a constant state of digestion. Whereas when you reverse it and I started going on a solid food vacation, I started being more liquid. Then I started opening up to all sorts of senses. I started to smell things that I never even smelled before, see things I never saw before. Everything came online and my dreams were so vivid, you know, so lucid. And I just remember it was like, oh man, my life became like a dream, you know? Yeah, so, yeah.
You know why? Every message we've told, you know, so far is everything is energy. Jerome's high vibe, you know, so if he's consuming this dense food, it's not a vibrational match to his natural vibration. It's kind of lowering it, numbing it, as you said. But the lighter of the density that you consume is more of a vibrational match to that which you naturally are. So therefore your senses come online. They're not as numbed. They're not numbed anymore. So everything is frequency, everything is vibration.
The sattva state. Alex said, the breath directs the light. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Work with it. Don't just hear these things. Like one of our friends said, he can't wait to go home and apply these things.
Right.
Even myself, I've read these things over and over and over, and it took me a while to apply each thing and stick with it. Consistency.
Yeah.
Apply it and be consistent. Repetition.
Yeah.
And inevitable, you're going to see the results.
And it'll be your own testimony.
Yeah.
Don't take our word for anything. Yeah.
Have fun, explore, experience. Yeah. You know, like Ellie Tom said, he's a scientist.
Right.
He's a scientist experimenting.
In his own laboratory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Things like music, Reiki, therapeutic touch.
Yeah. Music meals.
Yeah.
Reiki refreshments.
What did Shayna say? I wrote it down on the next page.
What?
There is what? I can't even read my writing.
You can't read your...
What did she say? What these are the yoga dean?
Oh, she said, do or do not. There is no try.
There is no try.
They were talking about working with the Force. Working with the Force like Jedi Knights. You know, we're like Jedi. The Jedi path.
Trying is not doing. If you're trying, you're not doing it. So don't say the word, like, I'm going to try this. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Haruka asked, what do you consume? Liquids. Yeah, so during this entire trip, we've been on liquids. So this whole time since the beginning, since we started the first video.
Even before then.
Yeah.
Before we left, I was on liquids for a while, so yeah.
So yeah, mainly liquids, you know. Yeah.
Prana.
Yeah.
Nourishment. Good company. Good conversation.
Right.
All this knowledge. That's what we're saying. It's not just about what we're putting into our mouths.
Right.
It's what we're watching, what we're listening to, the energy that's being exchanged by these beautiful, beautiful people and their hugs, you know, and the energy exchange happening between us. That is nourishment. That is energy exchange.
Yeah. All forms of nourishment.
And that's why if you have someone in your life where you feel like they're draining you, take a better look at that relationship, because relationship should be about an equal energy exchange. So you're constantly being nourished and not drained. Yeah.
It's like what we call a giving gourmet. You know, a giving gourmet can be like a bliss buffet. When you give, you already have received.
Yes.
You know the energy that comes through giving. You know, the receiver blesses the giver, just as the giver blesses the receiver. So, yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy the dance. Enjoy the dance. Janet says subliminal breathwork music with scalar is some ancient tech underrated.
Yep, lots of our brothers and sisters are working with this scalar technology and implementing it to help heal our weather, help heal our skies, help heal our waters, help heal ourselves. You know, everything is molecules. We are made of molecules, the water, the air. So that's changing the molecular states of the air, the water. Yeah, it's really powerful, the scalar.
Now, this is interesting. Haruka says, wow, I would love to live like that. What do you consume in your daily life? Well, first of all, go ahead.
Sorry. So one thing I was going to say earlier is we're doing a lot of energy cultivating. This is something that I do every now and then, but I need to do daily. I'm seeing that by not doing this energy cultivation daily and consistently, I'll want to drink more things or maybe like eat some things. So like doing all this energy cultivation really gives you the energy you need. That's the you know, if you're not consuming the solid food, you really need to be doing energy cultivating practices on the daily, maybe even multiple times a day, until you get to the point where you have so much energy. Maybe just once a day is good, but consistently really replenishes our energy as the energy cultivating practices. And like he said, just with meeting like these like-minded people in these groups, that's one, but the Qigong, there's meditations, pulling the cosmic energies, the solar energies, the lunar energies, energy cultivation.
And exercise, you know, exercise is like performing an exorcism. You know, you're exercising the emotions, the emotions that want to move anyway. The emotions, as we always say, are like energy in motion. So if energy wants to move and you're not moving, if you're living a more sedentary life, like they call kind of like a couch potato, just sitting on the couch not doing anything, and you're just fasting, then you're going to feel like you're wasting away. Versus the person who is fasting, but they're not only fasting, they're going out there exercising. But they're not only exercising, they're meditating. But they're not only meditating, you know, they're They're doing other things.
Qigong, Tai Chi. There's many practices. So just like we said, have fun with it and see what you enjoy and what works for you.
There's so much variety.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose what you want. You know how many meditations there are? Do you know how many forms of liquid there are? Do you know how many, like...
There are people all over the world living like this.
Yeah.
And they each have their own way of doing it. We can learn from cultures all over the world. And that just brings us even more together.
Right.
Yeah.
Great point G made real quick. He said the more we exercise, the more energy we cultivate in our body. And that's an interesting thing on this lifestyle as well. When you're going for pranic nourishment, pranic living, when you get more pranic, increasing your pranic percentage, and you're fasting, you're decreasing your caloric intake and all of that, you find that interesting things start happening. Exercising doesn't decrease your energy, it actually gives you more energy.
Exactly.
And so you're almost like feeding off of the energy that you get from exercise. And you look forward to exercising because you know it's going to restore you,
It's like before with the old programming, my old lifestyle, like if you have low energy already, like, no, I'm not going to go on that hike.
Right.
But then me now that I've done all this work and this energy cultivation, I know that going on that hike is going to give me energy.
Yeah.
It's complete opposite.
Right.
But depending where you are mentally, physically, and everything else, there's going to be that different perception, and the body will respond differently also.
Or going on that hike, but thinking that you need to bring snacks, thinking that you need to bring jugs of water, thinking that you need to bring so many things to carry you through the hike, instead of just going on the hike and trusting your body and knowing that your body will carry you through. That's a very different type of thing. So Haruka asked, is a smoothie a liquid?
Smoothie is less dense than a solid, but it still has like the fiber and so your body still has to digest it. So it's like kind of in the middle, I feel like, of a solid and a liquid. Just liquid would be like pure juice, pure broth, pure water, something that's just liquid, nothing solid, nothing mushy, nothing with substance in it. Because your body won't have to digest it just digests the liquid, but it's not having to digest the fiber of the smoothie.
Yeah.
So the lighter you go, you should notice the difference when you consume a smoothie as opposed to a juice. When you get to that point, I know I got a smoothie with my mom one day. I drank like this much because I was like, it took my energy. And then so we learn along the way. I learned that through experience.
And you'll feel the difference. You'll feel the difference with different types. The way that I view liquid is anything that holds the shape of its container. Anything that takes the shape of whatever container you place it in, just kind of like Bruce Lee talked about water,
Be like water.
Be like water, formless, shapeless, like water.
Path of least resistance.
Right, water.
We are water.
You pour water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You pour water into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Be water.
But smoothies are really good. I find that they really helped me, like in the transitional phase, to be okay with more of just pure liquid. I feel like if I went from solid to just pure liquid, that smoothie is like that middle transition that kind of helped me feel a little full and gave me what I needed in that moment. So, and it was less dense than the solid.
Yeah.
So it's definitely beneficial, and just see how you feel.
And I was pretty lenient on myself in the beginning too when it came to liquid, because this was something completely out of the ordinary for me. Not eating solid food for long extended periods of time. The longest I remember going was I went 9 whole months, and it was like I didn't give myself the only cutoff that I put was it had to be a liquid. So I had soups, like tomato soups, I had nut milks, I had coconut water, I had juice, I had smoothies, anything that I considered a liquid. I said, okay, then I'll have it. But I just didn't go beyond that point, and it still had tremendous benefits. Yeah.
I know when I first met Jerome, he introduced me to a liquid lifestyle, and it just made sense. I wanted to explore it for myself, and I said I was going to do 2 weeks. I ended up doing 3 weeks, and in that time, I'm sharing this because I would have these soups that were kind of like a mush soup, kind of like a smoothie soup. And it wasn't pure broth, pure liquid, but it was like Indian dal, like lentil, or like split pea soup, where it was kind of like mushy. So it wasn't like solid, but it wasn't pure liquid. It was still that in between. Yeah. And even then my life changed forever. And that's why I continued this. So yeah.
G says liquid attracts more light than something dense.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking about living on light, attracting more light, you know, what does light go to? And even when you talk about what the rate of the molecule.
That's why people be staring at us. They be staring.
Talk about it at the Whole Foods. Talk about it.
Oh my gosh, they be staring and glaring. You look at them and they stay looking. And you can tell I'm so intuitive and telepathic. I can hear them and they're like, what is that? What are they? Yeah. Like, what are they doing? Like, it's this different energy and vibration that we're giving off, and we're glowing. And even if they don't see or realize, they feel it and they're drawn to it, like the light. They're drawn to the light.
People react to you differently.
And you embody more light. Yeah. You know?
And the light can be blinding for some.
Yeah.
You know, you can even talk about that, where some people...
Make people very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to be in their presence.
Just to be in their presence. They won't even speak to you. They'll resent you. They'll kind of act like you're not there. You know, and don't take that personally, because that just means they're just on a different level. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
There was one time I remember we were at a Starbucks and we were sitting down across from each other, and we didn't know that we were emanating and beaming such light, but we must have been radiating, because
this is our first time. Like, I met him twice, and then this is our first time sitting down to actually speak, to have a longer conversation. I wasn't on a liquid lifestyle. I was eating solid vegan food, cooked solid vegan food, you know? And what happened?
Oh man, Alex said like moths to light.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
Just like that.
Moths to the flame.
Moths to the light. Yeah, moths to the flame for real. So we were sitting in Starbucks, and in the course of, I think we talked to each other for like at least 5 hours.
It was over 6 hours.
Over 6 hours. The sun was up and the sun came down. That's how long we talked to each other. And it felt like we time traveled. It didn't feel like that at all. It felt like maybe we were out there for 2 hours. We were out there for 6 whole hours.
And
in the course of that time, people were coming in and out. Cashiers were coming out the store. Workers, the staff.
This never gets old.
Even random passerbys were coming, and they were blessing. They were offering. They were bearing gifts.
We got brought, I don't know how many types of cookies. What drinks? Starbucks drinks.
They brought it to us.
Cake pops. Everything they pretty much had in there. They were like, do you guys want this? Do you want this?
Do you want this?
Oh,
Here.
I got the wrong drink. You guys want this?
Here,
it was
you take this.
Like customers, like you said, like customers, workers. We just had so many gifts.
And they just kept coming.
And we just looking at each other like,
what is going on? Yeah. And then those 2 guys that came up to us.
They're so drawn to this man right here.
But I mean, it was just, I think it was our combined energy. Because it seemed like they were
They're going to you, though. Give yourself the credit.
It seemed
they
like
walked straight up to him. They wanted to talk to him.
It seemed like they were nervous to talk to us, like to just approach and just be. And so you'll find out, you know, on this journey that some folks, they won't approach you. Maybe they feel like your energy is intimidating. Maybe they feel like there's something about you, something they can't put their finger on. But it's something unique, something different that they haven't seen before. And just get used to that feeling, you know, because you're going to feel it for a little while.
Yeah. And share what you're doing. Like when we were leaving right now, the last day of the retreat, going to the car, this young man asked me, like, what are you guys doing? Like, where are you going? Or what are y'all doing? He was like, he felt it. Yeah. He felt the energy that we were giving off. Right. You know, and I could have just said, oh, we're at a retreat. Like, see you later, you know. But I sat there and I explained it to him. You know why? Because he came to us. He was attracted to that. This isn't something that we sell to people or try to, convince you of. No. I only talk about it in detail if somebody comes to me and they're very interested. They show interest and they're really like, what is this, you know? So I told him we're at a light activation retreat. It talks about pranic living. He's like, oh, like breatharianism. And he said it like that. And I was like, yeah, but that term has kind of this, you know, it kind of gets a bad name sometimes because they say that breatharians don't eat anything And they're like, what? That's weird, right? So I told them this is a pranic retreat, teaching us how to work with our energy bodies, how to cultivate energy. I explained in detail more about pranic living, you know, and it really, I saw it light him up. He was like, that makes sense. As before, the Breatharian message, he wasn't resonating with that. But when I talked about pranic living, energy cultivation, everything is energy, he was like, that makes sense. You know, he might go then and look this up later, you know, and that's how we pass the message.
Yeah. So for me, the focus is not just on like eating or not eating, but food freedom, understanding that you have the choice to live however you want to live, and whatever you choose will be your experience.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. If you want to eat, like...
Eat.
Yeah. That's why we're here, too, is to experience. So if you want to experience that taste, if you want to experience everything that comes with it, I mean, I did it for years.
Yeah.
You know, it's just what feels good for you.
And for so much of my life, I never even knew that I had the option.
There you go.
You know, I never even knew that it was a choice I could make.
There you go.
I thought that if this, then that. I thought that was the equation. If you don't do this, you die. That's what I was told, and that's what I was sold. So once you break out of that mentality, you know, through the biology of your belief, you change the neurochemistry, you know, you changed your physiology. And what you do for the mental, you do for the physical, and vice versa.
And spiritual and emotional. It's all connected.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that being vegan was an option. I mean, I've heard about vegetarianism back in the day, but I had the understanding that maybe if I went this way, I would be lacking in something. So it wasn't really an option for me because I thought I'd be deficient or get sick. But once I learned that you could actually thrive and possibly be healthier on a plant-based diet, I was like, you know, that it's just changing that perception that what we're told. So again, knowing that pranic living is an option. It's just an option.
Yeah.
You know, it's available to you if you want to explore it.
Yeah. So there's so many levels, there's so many ways to live life. There's so many ways to experience. And when you understand that the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next, you can go somewhere and you can have a nice view where you are, but you don't have to stay there. You always understand that there's more. And whether you want to experience that more, it's up to you. David says, I have learned that everyone leaves when I walk towards them. I feel like people fear my energy, however you two welcome me. I love that.
You're powerful, brother. You're strong.
Yeah.
You know, they're not ready for it. You know, it might disturb something in them. The light is too much. It disturbs their darkness. You know.
But that doesn't mean you need to
It's a good thing, though, because you get them stirring.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. Like, triggers are a good thing. We all know that. You know?
Yeah.
It all leads to growth. So they might be uncomfortable, but that's where our growth happens, when we're uncomfortable.
Very true.
It's a good thing that you're shining, making them uncomfortable, too.
And it doesn't mean that you have to dim your light.
Never dim your light. Never.
Because as well, your vibe attracts your tribe. Which I thought was really cool because since we've been here these past 5 days, we've been surrounded by like-minded people who have been on the same path. They've been in a similar trajectory, and they've all come from all these different places, all these different faces, and they all have different motivations for why they found this calling and for why this calling found them. And so it's just cool to know that you're not crazy.
Mosai said he wasn't even trying to be breatharian. You know, I don't know why.
He just came to work on himself.
He just came to work on himself.
Yeah.
You know?
And just found all these different cool connections.
Yeah.
Networking with all these like-minded folks.
A lot of us said that. You know, we came here for different reasons, but we didn't realize we were going to meet so many people that were so similar to us.
Yeah.
You know, that are like-minded, that we resonate with, that none of us think any of us are crazy.
Right.
We all understand and resonate with each other on some level.
Right. Like, no one's going to judge you if you go a day without eating. No one's going to judge you if you know what I'm saying, if you look a certain way and if you know, while other people would be pointing at you thinking that you're deficient in something, but the company that you keep, you know, the energy that we've been around, they're non-judgmental. So it's very, you know, enlightening, very empowering, and it just continues to keep you excited on a journey like this when you realize that you're not alone. Like you talk about, Janet, you know, the light grid, that people might be few and far between, but we're holding it down.
Huge. This is huge. That is why a lot of us, especially the more, us powerhouses, are not in the same facility. Because this planet, this plane, has what's called a light grid or an energetic grid, a crystal grid. The ley lines have specific points where we are placed and put all over the planet, all over in different countries for a specific reason, to shine our light, be that powerhouse that's needed to light up this grid. If we were all in the same little place together, it's not going to light up the whole planet. We need to be spread out for that reason. So understand that this is bigger than us. This is about raising the vibration of the planet to help bring harmony and balance not only to this planet, but to all of existence and all the multiverse. This is way bigger than us. So just understand that you, being your authentic self, shining your light, will attract your friends, even if they're in other countries and continents. You can connect with them, and eventually we will all coming together in the physical just like we are now. So yeah, know that you're there for a reason. Even if you're the only one, you're there to hold the light.
And we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Even through this technology that we're talking to you on right now. If you're watching this, once again, I always say this, but you're watching this for a reason. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. On purpose, it's time for you to discover that purpose and live a purpose-driven life. So, G says, finding the authentic flow, unlearning and relearning things again. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
What else we got?
Where are we at here? Energy healing is based on science, on quantum science. Yeah. I'll say it right there.
Shout out to White Wolf. Happy Lunar Eclipse. Yeah. Wendy said happy Lunar Eclipse. Shout out.
Thank you. You too. Let's see. Breatharian is a person who knows how to work with energy.
Good energy worker.
So again, like the gentleman I met when we were leaving, the Breatharian word or label kind of threw him off. But when I explained that it's a person that knows how to work with energy, it made sense. It made sense.
You can conceptualize that.
You can ground that and bring it down to earth, as Ellie Tom says, to make it make sense.
Yeah. Because a lot of times certain folks just want to wrap their head around something. And they feel like things that are too esoteric or too high up in the sky, they seem ungraspable.
Yes.
And if they seem ungraspable, they think it's unreachable.
Or it might be not real.
Yeah.
One of the guys was like, I just came here to see if Ellie Tom was real.
Right, yeah. He said, I just wanted to see if he was real. Like, he put it out there. That was honest. That was straightforward. I like that. Yeah.
So everybody feels energy. Even if you're not an extremely highly sensitive person where you feel all kinds of things, everybody says like, oh, that's good vibes. Or, oh, that's bad vibes. You're feeling the energy. Yeah.
Wendy says, we are getting rid of those blocks with energy healers. We talked about energy healers.
Talked about energy healers and how they're Reiki. And, Reiki is one form of energy healing, but there are many, many different types of energy healers. So many different types, and they're all over the world. And the more we evolve and know that everything is energy, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of all types of energy healers all over. And like they said, it's not about just seeking out an energy healer when you have a problem. It's about maintenance, maintaining your energy. So like Ellie Tom goes and gets massages all the time.
He's got a lot of money to spend on, the extras.
He has more money to spend because he ain't spending it on food and other things.
He's not eating or drinking, so what's he gonna do? He's like, I'm gonna maintain the bio machine,
the energy field,
my maintenance for scheduled maintenance, like a car, not waiting for the check engine light to come on before you take it into the shop, getting that regularly scheduled maintenance, getting that massage,
and that keeps your car working, and extends the lifetime of your car. Right. If you don't get the oil change on time, if you don't do these things on time, you're going to shorten the lifespan of your engine.
Ooh, talk about it.
My dad's a mechanic. Hey, I grew up in the shop, so I know these things about cars.
Yeah.
I would tell my dad about, my lifestyle. You know, it's what the body is able to digest. You can't put Kool-Aid and syrup in your car and expect it to work.
No.
You have to understand our body and this vessel and what it is made to process and what is made for it to thrive on. Because we can put all these things in our body.
We can.
The human body is a lot stronger than a car.
Yeah.
We can stay alive eating all kinds of crap. But are we going to be thriving? Are we going to feel good? Are we going to emotionally feel good?
Are we going to function at the optimum level?
Exactly.
You know.
For me, this life is all about achieving my highest potential that I possibly can.
So yeah, even when we go back to circling back to what we're talking about with energy healing and energy work and pranic living and being a good energy worker, Elitam was talking about how just like you would brush your teeth every day, just like you would do something every day, make an energy practice something that you would do consistently every single day.
Like Shayna, she's a woman, she said like your skincare. Make your meditation like part of your skincare. It's part of your beauty routine. Whenever you do it, you glow. You know? You don't need that skincare anymore.
Yeah.
I stopped wearing makeup.
Yeah.
You know?
Like my parents used to say, don't just go outside looking any kind of way. You know, put on some fresh clothes, like look fresh before you go out there. Well, don your energy clothes, you know? Put on that energy. Put on that cultivation, put on that meditation. You know?
It's our energy that people see first anyway. You know, it's that energy that we feel first anyway. It doesn't matter what our hair looks like or what we're wearing even. You know, it's their energy that's felt.
Right. The energy speaks before we do.
Yes.
Yeah. The energy precedes you.
That's what my mom always taught me since a little girl. Beauty comes from within. Less is more, she always taught me. Less is more, and beauty comes from within. Not from the outside. That's just added, you know, but true beauty comes from the inside.
Yeah, agreed. G says it's a feeling state, it's about relaxing. So yeah, combining that relaxation with that, you know.
We talk so much about that.
Yeah.
He said this energy work will work easier when you're relaxed. Yeah. If you're tense, you're like fighting it.
Right.
Holding it.
Right.
You know, relax and allow it to flow in the body. And it's easier when you're relaxed. Isn't that amazing? We can just relax.
You don't have to fight. It doesn't have to be a struggle.
Yeah.
When I learned that was another form of freedom, because I was like, oh, so it's not really even a striving towards, it's more of a relaxing back. It's not a force, it's a flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even when you think about water loves to flow through the path of least resistance, just like energy, the path of least resistance. So when we're holding up the positions in Qigong or we're doing any energy practices, you know, the energy is working through the meridians, breaking up blockages, creating new pathways, but it's going through the path of least resistance.
It's like in Avatar, how they explain like a stream. If there are big boulders and rocks kind of blocking the stream,
right,
the water's gonna flow like slower,
right,
you know.
Right.
But if you remove those rocks and the boulders from the stream,
flow.
That water just gonna flow.
Continuous flow.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So we can compare our energy channels, our chakras, nadis, meridians, to like a stream of water.
Yeah.
Just where that energy is flowing.
That's a beautiful episode. If you've ever seen the show, it's not even a cartoon. It's like
it's for adults.
It's
for
like
everybody.
it's a manifesto. It's like it's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
You know what I'm saying? Of our energy, of all the things. It's like Avatar: The Last Airbender. There was an episode where Aang met Guru Patik, and he talked to him about the chakras. So go look that up on YouTube. It's just a short video on Aang and Guru Patik, you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender, chakras. I think if you type that in, you'll find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great, wonderful explanation.
It's a visual explanation. Like, I'm very visual. If I can have somebody visualize and show me something, I will understand it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wendy says the awareness and balance, frequency, chakras.
Chakras.
Yes. Alex says, I tell my daughters that every chance I get, true beauty comes from within.
Thank you.
I love it.
More children need to hear this message. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. G says, I love you guys. Hope everyone has the best day ever. Yes. And
Back to you.
I believe G is in India, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, his day is probably just started all the way over there. So, have a great day as well. You know, understand that today is the first day of the rest of your life.
We say that every day.
Yeah.
Because it is. Every day is a new chance to accomplish your dreams. Make your dreams come true.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's a fresh start every day.
Right. Blank slate.
Your circumstances don't decide your life. You can change those circumstances. You can change those and create the life of your dreams.
Right.
Any day.
Yep.
Today, whenever you decide.
Right.
But now is the best time. Now is the only time.
Now it stands for no opportunity wasted. NOW. Now, no opportunity wasted. You know? And if you think about it, you're what you lean back on that. Your past does not determine your future. You know? You can always start now. Always. The present is a gift. Yeah. Awesome. Much love. Do we have anything else?
Almost done. Energy healing is accessible anywhere. You can do it at home, by yourself. You don't even have to go seek out somebody to assist you like a healer, or you could do it at home. It's always accessible, which means what? It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yes.
It's free.
Yes.
You don't have to be outside.
Yeah.
You can be inside. You can be in the dark. You can anywhere. It's accessible anywhere, and it's free.
Freedom.
Yeah.
There's nowhere that this energy is not touching. You know, there's nowhere that it's non-existent. If you have breath in your body, then it's accessible. You know, you're alive. That's confirmation. So you can tap into it wherever you are. You know, yeah.
So it's all about a daily commitment. Staying committed to the light every day. Like, what if you're committed to it for like a day or two, but then you stop doing it? Like Ellie Tom gives this example of a woman he knew that did this exercise, and her shoulder was like this, and it got corrected. But then he saw her months later, she wasn't doing those practices, her shoulder back up here. So it's about consistently staying with the practice, daily practice, focused on cultivating the light, on working with the light every day.
If you can open up your energy channels, you can close them down again. If you can wake up, you can go back to sleep.
And they might close on their own.
Yeah.
Because you're not like working with it, keeping it moving.
So that's why the emphasis is on consistency. Doing something, you know, continually. Vishinantam, you know, over and over again, and understanding that it's not a quick fix, it's not a short remedy, it's not something for just a time, it's a lifestyle. You know, make it a part of your lifestyle. Make exercise a part of your lifestyle. Make meditation a part of your lifestyle, you know? And you'll have long-lasting benefits when you treat it that way.
This isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. Yeah. If you want it to really to be successful, you know?
Yeah. We always think about like, okay, and then what? And then what? You know, okay, I'm going to do these things, and then what? You
just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Who said you got to stop? You know?
Like Shayna, she's been a Reiki master for 14 years.
Yeah.
She's been a raw food chef, was from 2004. You know, and now she's doing all kinds of things. Like she's on liquids, or she eats some fruit, I believe. But the point is, she just keeps going. Yeah. And she's been doing this for years, and she's still going. Yeah. Her vibration is so high, and is still rising. Yeah. It's still going. Yeah. There's no end point to this.
I know it's a tale, you know, of the tortoise and the hare. But why did the tortoise, you know, beat the hare in the race? Was it faster than the hare? No. Was it quicker than the hare? No. It just kept going. It just kept going. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how quickly or how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Even if you stumble.
Even Even if you take a small pause or break or go back a little bit, just keep going.
Get back up.
Just get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done it like over and over and over.
And over
again.
again. Yeah, definitely. Like they say, fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
People might see you when you fall. I used to tell people this at the roller skating rink. Because at the roller skating rink, they were so afraid to fall.
Yeah.
They let their fear of falling stop them from enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Because they were so afraid to fall that they were just always in panic mode, always in fear mode. And I let them know, people might see you when you fall down, but they see you when you get back up. You got to get back up.
Come on now.
Get up,
Come
you know?
on now. Come on now.
So G says darkness is where the light comes from. And he put the yin yang.
It's very true.
Yeah.
That's talking about the void and creation. You know, creation happened in the void, in the darkness. So it's all needed. You know, but what do you want to work with? It's like, we still embody both. Because your darkness is your shadow self, which you have to accept and forgive and love and balance out. So it's not about the dark outwinning the light or the light outwinning the dark. It's about balancing the two. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Did we have anything else?
Energy. Now is the only time that exists. The body is always in the body. Last thing. The body is always in the present moment. You are not in your body when you're not in the present moment. Why? Because your mind takes you elsewhere. To the past, to the future, not in the present moment. But the body is always in the present moment. So if your mind is in the past or the future, but your body is here, you're not in alignment. It's over here and over there, and over here is not here.
Yeah.
All together in alignment and all fully in the present moment.
Yeah. I like how you said your mind takes you elsewhere.
There was a
movie we saw recently called The Giver. And in The Giver, there were subjects or there were people in this population that when they were no longer needed to the populace or to the higher ups, they were released to elsewhere. Yeah. And that was kind of symbolic of, not being there anymore, not being in the present moment. So when we're not there, So yeah, being able to be in the present. I like how Jenny says she lives in the now OS, which is like the now operating system, the right now.
People ask me, like, what are you doing later or Tuesday? Or I'm like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Ask me that later.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to be then because I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you get too caught up sometimes in the expectation of where you might be in the future, you can lose sight of right now. You can lose sight of the present, which means you lose sight of the gift.
Say if you make plans and you to be there, but if you didn't make plans and you were just led to be over here, something magical could happen. But you made that plan already ahead of time. Planning the future put you over here, but being in the present, you're just led to everywhere that you're needed.
And it's not to say that you have a lack of direction. You can know where you're going. You can still have a goal, but allow the plans to change. Don't be so constricted or restricted to one thing. It has to happen this way. Don't limit the universe, or what we like to say, the multiverse, right?
Which is you. You are the universe. You are the multiverse. You are the cosmos. You are the earth. And all of that is limitless. All of that. And that's you.
So think about what you want. Place that focus on what you want, but don't worry about how it's going to happen. Allow for it to happen the way that it does naturally. And make room for that space to take place. Blessings. Camila. Hey, Nabiha's in here. Camila said, it's funny that we all think we are the body, but we can't stay in the body. G said to be fully present in the present is a present by itself. I love that. Oh man, David said talk about a trippy movie. We definitely feel like life is a movie. Alex said thank you guys. I was unable to make the retreat this time. Was a little bummed, but I feel you guys and such a great job reiterating this knowledge. Much love, Alex. Thank you greatly. Truly amazing. Oh, much love. Much love, much love. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, and I think
that
that's
was our
it.
goal.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
We just want to share. If you weren't able to make it, or if you don't know this information, we're just trying to get it out there. You know, whoever is here.
Yeah.
You know, you're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you for receiving. You know, thank you for being to receive the transmission and pay it forward. You know. Who knows who needs to hear this? If you can share this with somebody who you feel might need this message, or if you yourself could just pass it along. You know, what goes out always comes back.
Yeah.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like, I think that's it. That's it. That's a good resting place. So much love to everyone. Thank you so much for being. This was the final day of the retreat here in Sedona, Arizona. We definitely enjoyed, and we will be back. If they have another one, this is going to be another one.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt. This was like one of the best times of my life.
Man. Beautiful. So much love once again. Take care, and we'll catch you again very soon. Take care. Namaste.